Good afternoon, or actually good evening. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be working on this cadet tractor. It belongs to a good friend of mine. His name is Terry. I might have mentioned him before in another or previous videos. I had bought some mowers from him. You know, the 3 mowers for $40, and I bought the one from his dad for 4 for $40. But anyway, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I did a little short part of where I went and put another carburetor on this exact mower. The issue, he brought it to me because when I went to go put the carburetor on, he told me that the belt, I told him then the deck belt was getting ready to break. So unfortunately it did break on him, so he purchased another belt, and he got it right here for me. He dropped it off this afternoon before I got off work, so my mom was here to get it. So this is the belt he purchased off of the Jungle site, Amazon. It's a 5/8 by 134 belt. This is the deck belt we need to put on here because it's a 50-inch deck here. So I need to do that for him. And then he said 2 other issues besides this is, he said when he's mowing this, when he filled it up, he's mowing part of the backyard and not even getting to his front yet, and he's already running out of gas. So I gotta see what's going on with it. I might have to do some test runs on it and see what's going on. And then also these lights, I think they're LED on here in this Cub Cadet, or Carol calls it Scrub Cadet. The wires are off of there, and I'll have to show you. I probably have to splice them. Well, they're already unspliced, but I just have to see if I can splice them back together. I think it's got the wrong gauge wire on there too. So first things first, I think the easiest thing to do would be to throw the belt on here. Number one, it's got a 24 horsepower Kohler engine here. It's a 50-inch cut. I know everybody likes seeing models and serial numbers. This is the belt cover for it. I got to put back on there. Let's see, can I find you guys some specs? Yeah, here we go. Get you guys off the tripod here. You guys can. Whoa. Yeah, there was some tomfoolery there. Whoever had it before him, this is how they did the wiring. But it works. Here's the model and serial number there for this mower. I'll put it in the description box below too. 2017 model. There, the battery's still good on it. I don't know how many hours is on it. Let me look real quick. Battery's at 12.9, 767.5 hours on it. Okay. So it's got 767 hours on it. Now this is the wiring we need to look at. Here's the wiring right here for it. There's your, I know the red's got to be the positive, green's the ground. They got this wire in there. He said this was like this when he got it. They put this wire on there, and I got a feeling it's the wrong gauge wire just by looking at these wires and how thin the wiring is to that one there. So I might have to see if I got some better wiring, like gauge wire I can throw in there better for them. And looks like they got like a wire nut holding them there, which I see the green wire there. Unfortunately the red wire, I don't know what happened to it. Could be in this spaghetti of a mess here, so we'll have to figure that out. I might have to pull the ignition switch out and see which one runs to the lights, and go from there, and then see which wire it could be, trace it down. It's probably a single red wire, which unfortunately I see one, but I don't know if that's actually it, so I'm not going to sit there and say I know where it's at. We'll have to figure it out. There, this of course is a PTO mower there. So we'll get the belt on first, do that, and then we'll worry about the lights here. There, he said if I can see if I can do that. He asked my mom to see if I can do that. I'm sure I can. It'd be first wiring LED lights up because I know there's the LEDs, but it should be that hard to do as long as I find the right wiring for it, which I'll probably have to look at a schematic for it. There, so let's go ahead and try to get the deck belt on first here. So let me get you guys set up a little bit better. Let me go grab some tools because I gotta get the other belt cover off there, and then we'll throw the belt on there and see how it runs from there. All right, let me get you guys down here. I'm gonna take the deck off on a time lapse, but I'm gonna show you guys the points on this one, just in case you guys haven't took one off before. There's one of the deck brackets right there. There's that pin right there, spring clamp right there. That's for one deck. Really, you could probably take it off by that one that's underneath there. Let me put the light on so you guys can see. There's the brake's in the way. Okay, there's one right there, which you could probably take it off by that one instead, which we'll probably do. Take it off that one. You got a spring clamp right there on the other side, so it should be yeah, it would be better just to take it off that front one there. So the front one right there in the screen, take that off, and it should be the same. Sorry, the ground's wet today because it rained. He's got new blades on it there, so it looks like there's one right there we could probably take it off by, but I'll take it off by that front one there as well, which is right there. Right there where my finger's pointing at, it's right there. And again, like I said, the front clip right there in the screen. So let me go put some music on. I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse. Let me go ahead and get this deck off of here, and then we'll reroute the belt and then put it back on. So give me a second to get it off. So you guys enjoy the music. Okay, I do stand corrected what I say. There was more you had to take off than what I said there was. There was two of them you had to take off. So there was a total of two underneath you had to take off, and of course the two on the other side. So there's two spring clamps right there, or pins, sorry. And then of course the three right here, including the one underneath there. So a total of 3, 4, 5 you had to take off there. So here's the deck right here. He already has one of the covers off, so I just gotta go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna go get my tools together. There's the spring that came off there. I gotta hook that back up. So we'll do that. We'll make sure everything works on it, and then we'll put everything back together on it, put the belt on. So let's make sure everything works on it first. Let me go grab some tools real quick, and I'll bring you guys back in a second. All right, I got tools together now, so we can start taking this thing off here. I got my 1/2-inch impact, my 1/4-inch impact, which I'm going to use that to get the bolts off of here. Let's go ahead and get this off of here now. So the cover should be 10s, which it is. There, let's go ahead and get these off of here. Looks like that one. Little. How's that? 3/8. What's it for? 3/8. I thought it would be metric. Okay, 3/8. Looks like that cover piece broke off with that. Okay, put that there. So we're gonna get this other one off of here so we can get to everything. So there's three 3/8 bolts right there. Put those there. Let's make sure. That sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds good. And a little noisy, but not too bad. I noticed the spring came off of here. And this. Okay. Alright. So I gotta see. This spring went to something. I have to figure that out. Like I said, PTO on there. Let's see. Looks like it was rubbing on something there for a minute. Okay. Down came off of there. This went to something, but it's not nothing there. So I'm not sure what that is. Okay, we'll get the belt on here and then we'll figure out the spring issue here. I'm probably gonna have to take this pulley off. It feels like a nut and bolt on there for that. There, so okay. Let's see, I might be able to get away with just putting it on there without having to take that off. So 5/8 by 134 belt. Of course, you know, you gotta unravel it. There, like so. Now, usually on these mowers, especially underneath, they give you directions on how these go, which I don't see it, unfortunately. Usually they have on these decks a sticker. This one doesn't have one. So you know it goes this way. Pretty sure Eiler probably going this way, more than likely. And it's going right here, which that's going to go to the front, so we're going to have slack there. So this has got to be a belt guide of some sort. Huh. Hang on, let me make sure we're doing this correctly before I start putting everything on here. And make sure. So let me pause you guys real quick. I'll bring you guys back. Let me make sure we're putting this on the correct way here. Okay. Doing some little research on it, and I know, like I said, I don't know everything. So this is where the belt, this is where the spring goes. It goes on here, like so. But of course, when the belt's on here, it's going to have more tension. So it's supposed to go on here, and then, you know, the belt is supposed to wrap around here and all that. So looks like this part is correct, apart from getting it right here. I'm probably going to have to take this off of here to do this. unfortunately, I was looking on the hood where they showed the directions, and somebody decided they wanted to take them off there. So, yay me. Normally, you can fish these on here, so you don't have, if you can get the deck stuff pulleys not to move with you. Probably gonna have to take that pulley off there, which is a 9/16. Let me see if I can get it off of there without having to put anything underneath it. Let me grab the right socket. Okay, of course, it's not gonna come off of there. So that's supposed to be on there, but we gotta get this on here. And once it's on there, then those will have tension. Fortunately with me, I'll be able to see if I can get something underneath there to hold it. Should be the same size nut as this. I probably won't be able to get under there to get it. Let's see. Okay, got it. Now I can get that on here, like so. Put this back on there. Okay, now let's get this on here like so, and I know this is supposed to go actually this way and that way. Now, if I remember looking at that right, but that doesn't look right because eyler pulley, so it's got to go this way and that way, and then okay, so it should be like that, except for the belt is not on here. That would actually help. So let's make sure. I'll double check my. That doesn't look right. Okay, let's. Let me pause it one more time. Maybe make sure I got this on correctly before we finish this off. Okay, so a mistake on my part. I was looking it up, and according to what I looked up, pull it up on my screen. There. This is what I looked up on it, how it's supposed to go, according to my phone. Okay, so looks like this pulley, this one wasn't supposed to go on there just yet, so let me take that off of there. I know some people were showing that they were putting them on when they're on the tractor itself, which I get that, but you know, okay, so I got this. It looks like this is going to wrap around. Okay, well, if I can get something to stay here today. It looks like this is going around this pulley, which that means this is going to go around here. So this part's going to go around here instead. There. Go ahead and lock that down. And then this should mean this. So it should, that means it should be like this. Although it doesn't, maybe when you got it on the mower it looks right. Right now it doesn't look right. I guess once you have the that's the way it was showing. Although let's see something. Alright, well, it's gonna be one of those days. So that's what it looks like here. So let me look at the screen one more time to make sure. I know that looks like it's correct. Okay, screen. Stop doing it. Okay, so that's what it looks like. There, so that should be right. Let's get it on the mower deck and see what it does. But we won't start it up or anything. We'll make sure we got it hooked up correctly before we do. So let me go ahead, put this under here, and we'll try it out and see what it does. Alright, I got you guys down here since I got told I didn't do close-up shots. So this is supposed to be spring loaded, so I should be able to pull this. You know, it's supposed to rock back and it's supposed to go onto the PTO right here. So I'm going to try to not get in the way while I do this. And we'll see, make sure it's going to go. All right, now there we go. Now everything should be where it's supposed to be. Now there's where it's at. Idler's there. I feel like that idler needs to be pulled up some. Well, maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. All right, let me get you guys off the perch. Okay, so this is how we should be routed. That pulley goes out, this stretches out to there, wraps around that idler pulley right there, wraps around that spindle right here, comes back around this idler pulley right here where the belt guide is, and should be hooked up there. So it should work. Nothing's hitting it. It's already spring loaded where it's supposed to be, so we should be good to go there. We'll try it out and see. We'll have to run it. I'll get the blades off the ground, but there we go. I'll pan over it one more time for you guys real quick where it goes. Spindle goes around the PTO, wraps around there, goes around this idler pulley, wraps around there, comes around that spindle, right there. Right there. Wraps around that idler pulley over there. And then goes back around the outside of it there and goes around that blade spindle over there. Let's get you guys over here so you guys can see it again. So right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw the belt covers on real quick, and or we'll see if it works real quick, and then I'll put the belt covers on. So let me get you guys set up and we'll try it out. Okay, I had to wait for the airplane to go by also. You got a cover over this, so I'll raise the deck up. Let me get this. Got this thing. Got this thing wired up. I guess so he can blow the grass. Okay. All the way on there. All right. I'll just put that on there anyway. So, got this. All right, let's see what it does. Well, it didn't bog down, but then again, we weren't in grass, so we'll have to try that out. But I say that's a success on that part. So I'm gonna put the belt covers on real quick. I think I'm gonna have to fix one of them, but it works. I'll have to record it and show him that it's working, but then I'll have to figure out the light situation there too. But got one part done. Got the deck belt on there, so deck belt so far looks like it's holding up on it. There, so we got that good to go. So the belt cover is just 3/8 screws, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pop those on there real quick. I'll bring you guys back in a second. All right, y'all, this is the next day. I got you guys right here. You know, yesterday we got the belt on there. This is my day off, Saturday. So the other issue he has is with the lights. You know, as I looked, into it here, and I'll bring you guys off the tripod here. There. You know, like I said, he's got, somebody put this thicker gauge wire on here, which probably would work. Well, like I said, I see the green. I'm pretty sure that's negative. Red's the positive. There. They got it tied into the other green that's right here, which I see that. I unfortunately don't see the red wire that's supposed to be there with it. I don't see it in the wire loom anywhere. So I don't know what they did with it. Now, can I try to wire it up the way it is? Probably can. But I want to see if the lights actually work. If I tie those wires together, I'll probably do a temporary fix on them. Just hook them up, see what they do, and then we'll go from there. And the next thing would be to pull off the dash, the switch that's right there, the ignition switch, and see where the L wire tab goes to, and trace the wire from there and see if I can find it, and maybe put the right gauge wire, get the right red wire. I probably got it off another wire harness I can steal it off of, and put it on this tractor here to try to get this going. So it should be just a regular red wire to do that, to power the LED lights up there. So let me go ahead and let me just verify that these lights actually work before we even go to that route, and then we'll go from there. So let me go ahead and just tie these wires up temporarily and just see what it does. Okay, I was going to try to find like a barrel tie connector like that one to put on there. So right now the wires are just tied up. I know that's not the right way to do it. Before you get in the comment section in the video and tell me that's not the right way to do it. I just want to see if the lights work. Then we'll go from there too. So let me just, I don't know if I can get this to go down without hurting the lights any. You know, let's just leave it up. I'll leave it up, then we'll check the lights then. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the brake on here real quick, and put it on choke. Let's start it up. Let's see what if the lights come on. Okay, so even me tying those wires together did not help it any, so probably not the right gauge wire for it. So we're gonna have to pull that switch off. Let me go ahead and do that. Let me go pull the switch off here. See if we can figure out anything from there. Go from there and see if we can find the wire that goes to it. Okay, so let's get you over here and we'll pull the switch off. All right, let's see if we can get in here and I can get this tab out for the switch. You know, sometimes you can get in here and work it. Fortunately, the fuel tank is in the way for me to get in there the other way. I don't think they pry into it. Normally it's a tab in here to get that out. I really don't want to pull the fuel tank up. So see if I can get in here, and there should be a tab in here to get these out. Unfortunately, I don't see one just yet for it. He's got a full tank too at the same time. Well, there is a way to get to it. There is two bolts that are over here on the bottom, Maybe I can pull this off to get to this dash a little bit better, which that's probably where somebody probably telling me right now I should have. Let me pause you real quick. Let me go get a 3/8 to get that off of there. All right, there's two 3/8 screws here on this dashboard that's underneath here. Let me get them off here first. Or that might be an 8. Hang on, it might be staying corrected on it. Yep, it's an 8. My mistake. There's two 8 screws. They're right here. They're like little shoulder screws. There's one there. I'll show you guys when I get this off of here. Put them on each side. Okay. You might have to, maybe have to go into the cover here. Okay, there's a 9/16 bolt. We might need to take this off of here to get to this a little bit better. Let's see. We got 9/16 to get that bolt out of there for the steering wheel. That's a 1/2 inch. Okay. You can turn, but you're not going to turn any further, so guess you're going to have to come off of there, huh? All right, let's try something else. Here to get that off of there. Might have to let me try something different here. Get that off of there. There we go. Let's try this. Let me pause. I gotta go get the big boy impact. Half-inch impact. Okay, maybe last lap. One more pause. All else fails, get 2 shorter extensions and make a longer one. Okay. Should there's two little tabs here. We got to pull these. I'm trying to find a different way to get it without having to take the gas tank off. There's probably okay. So there we go. Apart from pulling everything out, well, there's the switch. I think this is actually made on there. Now watch, I probably didn't need to take all this off of here. I bet you the comment section's going on right now about this one. You did this wrong. You should have done it this way. You did it wrong. You should have done it that way. And I didn't see those tabs until now. So my mistake, I just saw them. I just saw them. So shame on me, I just saw them. If I can just get this thing to stop snapping back in there. If I can just get this thing to stop snapping back in there. Okay. Okay, I unplugged the switch. So really, this has no reason for me this to hold back. Not sure why that tab is not pulling back when I just hit it to do release. Okay. Let me go get the rest of this off here. We'll get that switch, okay? Let me pause stop you guys for now. Alright, I got the switch off of there. Let me kick the tripod while I'm at it. Use this brush to get in there and get all that debris out of there. So, lights, there's your ground tab. L for lights, A for alternator, magneto, starter. So, lights is the middle tab, or the top middle tab, sorry. Okay. Unfortunately, all this is all, you know. Now, was there a better way to take that off there? Probably so. So the L is the top tab there. Unfortunately, I don't know how I'm going to get you guys in here so you guys can see what I'm doing without. So it looks like the middle tab, which would be right there, the top out of all of them there, is going to be that, which it looks like it goes in the green. So it's a green going into, okay, let's see, let's look at this. Let me get over here if I can stop tripping over everything today. Okay, so switches like this on here, so that means the alternator 1 in the ground. It looks like it's green for that, if I'm looking at it right. Let me get you guys, I don't know if I can get you guys in here any better. I know everybody wants to see everything. It's kind of hard for me to sometimes even get you guys in there if I'm having a hard time with it. So it looks like, and only fortunately this harness, so it's a green that's going into this is the wire that's going into it. A green. Well, that don't make no sense. So L for lights, ground, alternator. Huh. The only way I can figure this out, I was just trying to see where I can go from here, but it's a green wire. The only thing that was going to that tab, which would be A1 there, which is green. This is for your backup switch that goes right there, like if you want to mow backwards. So it looks like green, so unfortunately that's not going to help us. The only way we're going to have to find out, we're going to have to get down to the bottom harness up here and see what's missing out of it. So I guess we're going to have to start doing that. Let me go put all this back together, and I'll put all this back together off camera. I'll bring you guys back. We're going to look down at the wiring harness below. Okay, I've got a battery here. It's to my other drill. Unfortunately, the impact went out on it, but I keep the batteries in extra. But I did this here to test the lights. So we're gonna hook these up here. Should be green negative, plus for the lights. The red for the negative, positive. Red for the positive, green for the negative. And the lights do work, so that's a plus. They both work. The only issue is, like I said, we just need to get the lights to wire up to this, and I think it's missing a wire. We're missing a wire here for this. If there is a green for this, we just need a red, and since that's a green tab that's over looping, what we're probably going to have to do, I hate splicing. I still need to get into this wire loom and see what all it's missing. I see the green wire there. I'm sure that goes to it. I still think that wire that they got here is not the right wire to it. Here, let me take it off of here. I'll show you. I just don't think this wire here that they got hooked up to it is the correct gauge wire, and that's probably the reason why it's not even trying to work. Because this wire, I don't know what this wire too. It looks like a speaker wire. I'm gonna try to get a different wire set up and put it that way and hook it up and see if it does anything, because we know the lights work. I'm gonna get rid of this gauge wire here and see if I can figure out something better. So let me wire up something different on it, and then I'll show you, and then we'll try it out and see if it works. Okay, so what I did here is I got an old wiring harness. I can't remember where it came from, but I stole some wiring off of it. Here, I can't remember where it came off of, but I took the red and I took the green off of it. I cut it here. So what I'm going to do is I might try to steal the other connectors on it and maybe make something different, which the green is ground, really, and I got wrong on that one. So I need to ground that to something. Maybe I'll ground it to the frame here. for it. I'll put an extra wire on here and put that or ground it to a bolt. But we're going to do this. Well, I want to wire it up temporarily just to see if this is the cause of it. We're going to go, I know that's a green wire to that, and I know this is probably not, I was going to go red to red, which I might still do that. I'll keep that green for the extra ground. There, we might have to do like a little temporary fix on that one. There, so we'll do, I just want to wire it up and then we'll start it up and see if it works this way. We'll ground it, and if it, like I said, if it works, then I'll button it up a little bit better. I'll put connectors in here and heat shrink them together, same as this, and maybe put a connector on this too. We'll see. But right now I just need to see if this is actually going to work. I can't find my other connector things you put on there to, you know, to tie these things together. I might use this one for this. Okay, or not. Like I said, I just want to wire it up and just see if it works, and then, like I said, we'll do it. We'll clean it up and we'll make it look a little bit neater. Okay, so don't sit here and think I'm going to do this and leave and send it back to him like this. I just want to see if we can get this to work. That's all we're trying to do at the end of the day. Like I said, I could take it off of here and ground it to that one bolt on that. I need to hook it up to something to ground it temporarily. I could take this bolt off of here, put it down there, and let it catch that, which I probably can. Let me see. I get this in here to get it on. Like I said, this is temporarily. Don't get in here and get onto me. Oh my God, he's trying to wire it up this way. He's gonna blow up everything. I'm not trying to. Okay, well, I was gonna do it that way, but let's do it this way first. Let's take that off. Take that off. Like I said, we're just trying to see if this works, so calm down. Okay, before you rag onto me. This is temporary. We're just trying to see if this thing works, okay? Not the space shuttle. Never said I was perfect either of what I did. Alright, let me get you guys out here real quick. This is, like I said, temporary. I just want to see if it works. If it does, we'll clean it up better. We'll put connectors on there and make it go. Okay, so get you guys right there. I'm going to go start up the mower real quick. Let's see what it does, okay? So here we go. that one was attempt number 1 of a fail. So that didn't work where we needed to. So I guess that's not going to, probably plastic, isn't it? So it probably didn't work. I have to ground it, so it's okay. Okay, where can I put it where it's a ground here so this would work? Let's see. I'm just going to tie it into that wire real quick and see. Okay, so that doesn't work either. Okay. So that didn't work the way I wanted to, so... which is weird though. Let me see if I can find a better way to maybe make this ground. Alright everybody, it's been a couple of days, but I think I might have figured out a power source for this. You know, I tried you know, going through with my you know, light tester and all that stuff, trying to find a power source, and then I started thinking you know, the fuel shutoff solenoid. I'm like, that's a good power source there. So you know, I got the green is for the ground, which of course is going to run up to that switch. So you know, I kept thinking that was the power, and then I started thinking about it. You know, green is ground, the red is positive. So I went ahead and I'll show you this now, but I got it. I did this all off camera. I'm trying to look at some stuff there without you guys, and I apologize for that. But I should have thought about that. You know, the power source. You know, when you turn the key switch on. So right now I just got it. Everything's just, you know, tied together. Nothing's set in stone yet. So everything's just, wires are just tied up. Nothing's touching anything. So I got the wire shoved into the you know, the fuel shutoff switch wire right here. So watch what happens when I turn the key. Lights come on. Now, without me having to stick a 12-volt battery from a drill on there. So that's a good sign. So both lights work. I just got to figure out a way to tie in to that shutoff switch wire. Alright, I'll show you guys how I got it done. Here, so let me get this set up in here. I'll bring you guys over here and I'll show you what I got done. And I know somebody's going to probably holler about wire setup, so let me get you off the tripod. So here we go, right here. Here's your red, that's your positive. Like I said, I just got the wires twisted together. I was using a red wire, but it's too thick, so I'm going to use a yellow wire for it. And I'm going to try to find some way to tap into that fuel shutoff switch somehow there. For that, and of course the green is your ground, but I got it tied up there. This wire is short, so I had to add an extra wire, not only to that wire, so there's 3 different wires, which I'm going to take those heat shrink connectors and put on there to clean that up, make that look nice there, and try to keep it away from the muffler also. So like I said, I know it's not the right way to do it, but I got it pushed into that wire right there, which is the yellow that goes into there for the fuel shutoff solenoid. It's actually in the middle. there. So the middle one is the yellow there. That yellow is not part of it. So I just gotta find a way to clean this up, make it look nice. I could get those wired things you push into there to do that, but I don't know if I want to do that, you know, the cut into their, you know, like they do for trailer lights. So I guess gotta figure a way to cut in, go into that there somehow. So let me get some ideas of what I'm gonna do, but like I said, right now we got lights, so that's all that matters at the end of the day. There, all the lights are working. They're working. So that's what he wanted. So I just got to figure out a way to get them permanently fixed and they're not touching anything and causing a fire issue. So let me figure out that out, and let me figure out how I'm going to do this real quick. Bring you guys back.